Hey YouTube, and welcome to the Why Exist channel. With this being my first video, before getting into any discussion, I would like to cover a few things. For example, the name of this channel was made following the DaddyOFive debacle, and in general, how it made me feel at the time. This channel will hold various content ranging from politics, news, science, and hopefully gaming content on and off, as is a personal passion of mine. I work alongside a small team that help with research and writing, as most content we release will be pre-scripted. But this video, and occasional opinion videos, will be off-script and made completely on the spot. I hope to provide insights into serious issues, and at times will be very somber in my approach to issues, but I naturally am inclined to use humor like I do in my daily life. So it is likely I will make light of subjects, and being human, I'm sure these will be the times I should be somber, and will succeed in pissing off half the community. Regardless, this won't stop me from making my opinions known, as I am now of the idea that the world's going to shit either way, and I'd rather enjoy the slide down rather than wasting what's left of my humanity. All content on this channel will be crowdfunded, and soon, future videos will include a Patreon link that I hope those who enjoy my content, or that of my teams, will consider helping us out when they can do so. If this doesn't work out, I may begin using ads, but I'll release a video letting everyone know ahead of time. Anyway, enough rambling, onto my topics. The first thing I would like to discuss is something that I brought up earlier in my introduction / awkward rambling, and that would be the DaddyOFive channel. The DaddyOFive channel has probably been beaten to death at this point, but I would still like to bring it up, mainly because I'm looking at it from a different aspect than just that the father had committed pretty much heinous acts of child abuse on the internet. So the first thing that I would like to point out is that the subscriber count of this channel was 763,551. That's quite a substantial amount of people. Almost 1 million. He probably was receiving funding, and so the question that remains is, with content that includes child abuse, both by the parents onto the children, and also with the children abusing each other while the parents watched and pretty much turned them into a gladiator arena side type spectacle, you have to wonder why YouTube did not remove the content from the website, as well as why the subscriber base actually built up. I think that that's a better question, is why did 763,551 people watch this content and decide that they wanted to watch it again and therefore subscribe to the channel? I would like to hope that they thought that it was scripted or that it was jokes, but I don't see how you could think that it were jokes based on the way that the content was presented, as well as the realism of all the content and the lack of any professional stage play things like props, etc. The next thing that I would like to point out is that he has lost custody of 2 of his children. This was not due to government intervention, but was due to the biological mother of his children, Emma and Cody, who was Rose Hall, intervening into the situation and receiving her children. But he still has the rest of his children in his custody. I disagree with this and believe that he doesn't deserve any of them. I do not believe that this was all scripted. I believe that that is an excuse, that he's trying to make good of what he had done now that he sees that the gravy train or the gravy boat had ended. But I can't find it fathomable why so many people would subscribe to his channel, and I would like to err on the side of doubt for YouTube and hope that there had never been any reports on the videos, that nobody had reported or flagged the videos. I don't see how that's possible, and either way it's atrocious. Either YouTube was allowing this content onto their channel and onto their site, or a massive amount of people watched this, were okay with it, and decided not to report it. Either way, I see it as a problem. I personally don't. I know that there's nothing that I can do about it, but I think that we should look at it from a different perspective of why so many people would want to watch this content, and especially why it either was not reported or was not dealt with upon being reported or flagged. But that's about all I have to say on that. I'm going to go ahead and move on to another topic, because again, there's nothing I can really do about it, and the rest of this has been beaten to death already, so there's really no point in me continuing. The next thing that I want to talk about comes together in two parts, where they're two completely different stories. Both of them relate to the same topic. The first thing is Chechnya. Chechnya is a area of Russia. It's a city in Russia that is currently prosecuting homosexuals. This means that they are arresting them just for the purpose of them being homosexual. They are beating them and torturing them, according to reports by people who have gotten out of the area, as well as they are killing them, in essence. They are pretty much attempting to terminate the homosexual population of Chechnya. This is a problem that needs to be addressed. Our international leaders have pretty much told them that they better stop, and of course, knowing Russia, that's not actually going to do anything. It's not solving any problems, and it's not helping anything. In the long run, it's wasting a lot of time. Russia doesn't care if we tell them to stop. They don't care if we ask them to stop. They don't really care about our sanctions anymore, I'd imagine. They lose their validity after so much time. I'd imagine that the best way to handle this situation would be to give the homosexual community of that area visas, allowing them to get out of the area, giving them a refuge, allowing them to leave. That would probably be the only way to end this problem permanently, as I don't see the mindset of the Russian government changing anytime soon. The Russians seem very stuck to their guns on a lot of things, including this. You can tell it by the laws that they've been passing. It just doesn't seem like it's going to change, no matter what we seem to do. On the other hand, talking about this hashtag FireColbert. Hashtag FireColbert. I'm going to look at it from two angles. The first is if it is an attempt by Trump supporters to make light of things that SJWs and others have been doing against Donald Trump. If that's the case, I mean, I don't see what that's going to actually solve. I don't see it actually being a solution to a problem. But I'm going to look at it from a different angle as well, to see if any of them are actually people who actually believe that Stephen Colbert is homophobic. Now, what he had said was that Donald Trump, the only thing his mouth is good for is using it as Putin's dick holster. The room laughed. Everybody thought it was funny who was there. I imagine there were homosexuals in that room. I can't know for sure, but they seemed to think it was funny. I think it's completely retarded to think at all that this is homophobic. Coming right off of talking about Chechnya, seeing what actual homophobia looks like, saying that somebody making a comment of a prude nature, especially a comedian, is homophobic for doing so, is ridiculous. Looking at the tweets, they seem pretty much like they would be a joke. I hope they're a joke. For example, a tweet by Denny Forrest saying, "Vulgar homophobic attacks on anyone should never be acceptable in our society. Sponsors, ? We are watching." Well, first of all, the sponsors shouldn't answer to the people. The sponsors are there to make money. They're a corporate entity. They show specific people who have been tailored or who have been targeted that they would want the service that that person provides, and so they show them a video of what service they're getting. They aren't there to be the morality police. They probably don't care, and the only reason that things change is because of large backlashes, and honestly, it's bad business for a company to give in to public opinion on little things like this. It's bad business. They're losing out on business. They're not gaining business. This isn't going to help them in the long run. Unless, of course, they're bandwagoning for the PR, which might give them something. But at the end of the day, it's really just a waste of time. It's probably the stupidest, honestly, the dumbest news report I've heard in a long time, and I've heard some pretty stupid news reports. But if that is what's becoming homophobia now, then we're going to have to censor everything. someone's gonna say penis, it's homophobic. Someone's gonna say vagina, it's homophobic. Somebody's gonna say that they enjoy the actual official definition of gay, which is happy, homophobic. Somebody's going to be like, I support LGBTQ rights, homophobic. I mean, it's ridiculous. Not everything is homophobic. Chechnya, homophobic. Stephen Colbert, probably not. It's a pretty good scale there. And those are completely different coins of the same issue, I suppose, or at least what people are basing on the same issue of homophobia. One is an actual problem, one is actually hurting people, one's an actual issue, the other one is not. I mean, it's pretty simple. Anyway, I'm going to leave it at that. Please like, comment, and subscribe if you enjoyed. Let us know how we can improve in the comments below. Getting started in this, any criticism, any suggestions, any advice, it's very helpful. I'm sorry about the bad audio quality. I'm going to improve that on the next video, as well as try to make it a bit more animated, especially with visuals and things like that. But anyway,